Dad and I have started a challenge unlike no other. We are in a race to win 7 different trophies from the 11 selected leagues and 2 big European Cups. However, once one of us wins a trophy, the other is unable to claim it as part of their 7. And we have begun this challenge in Austria with Rapid and Austria Vienna. But we aren't allowed to leave the country until one of us lifts the league title. So far though, in Austria, we have been stuck watching Red Bull Salzburg win the title year after year. But Season 4 was potentially a missed opportunity for Dad, who threw away a very good lead with just 10 games remaining. And I am just clinging on, hoping that I can capitalise on the fact that Dad's wasting opportunities and potentially win the title myself. What's making me even more confident is the signings I am making this summer are fantastic. Bringing in a great attacking midfielder as well as a fantastic centre-back option, which improves my team drastically. Dad, though, is going down the route of selling Marco Nasty, who he's only signed the season before to bring in more money. Although one of his targets decided to go to Rennes instead, and Dad had to settle for the £10 million signing of Batterina from Leverkusen, as well as bringing in Nicolas Dominguez from Nottingham Forest, a great acquisition for his Rapid side. Alright Dad, bit of a busy transfer window certainly for you.
Yeah.
I had a bit of I say a quieter one. I didn't sell any players, did bring in a few players. I sold Neil Mopai. Didn't really play him much. But yeah, he's gone now. A couple of players who have come in for quite cheap, to be honest. We've got Giannoulis from Augsburg, a good left back from Greece there, good pace and ability there, and also Martin Van Truber from a Slovakian team, Spartak Trnava. Good goalkeeper.
He is good, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to go in as my number 1 this season, possibly. Well, he's got the number 1 shirt anyway. But there is millions being spent elsewhere. Zeno van Hoosen, who's you might recognise, used to be a bit of a wonder kid on Football Manager. Very good centre-back option there from Hertha. Then we've got Marko Malendovic, Serbian 22-year-old. And we're in Season 5, so he is starting off the game about 17 years old. And he looks great. Yeah. Very good centre attacking midfielder or centre midfielder. And then finally we got Daniel Kivinda, who is from a Romanian side. He is Ukrainian, come through the Dnipro Youth Academy, but he was at Farol Constanta, who is a Romanian side. And I just like the 15s are in the perfect place for me. Got the pace, acceleration, agility's there, composure. I wish off the ball was slightly higher, but 15 as well for finishing. So he can score goals. He got 13 just last season in total there for Farrell. Hasn't played a game yet, and I'm thinking that needs to change. I might lock him in this season and give him a lot of game time. Because at the start of the season, we haven't played each other yet. No. It's been okay, but I have dropped points twice. Altak I've drawn, and unfortunately Grazia I've drawn. And tactically, we are going with the 2 up front, with 2 attacking midfielders and 2 DMs, including putting Malendanovic in. So Huskovic, I'm thinking, I just don't like how he can't finish, and I think it bothers me too much.
He wouldn't even be in my team.
No, even though at the start of the season, he's got 9 goals in 8 games. But I'd rather play Strelec.
He might be in my team.
Yeah, and Kavinda instead. I think that's what I'd rather do.
9 goals in 8 games. That's good, though, isn't it? You can understand why he's not dropping him.
Yeah. Michael Herman is getting better, though, and as an attacking midfielder, it could be dangerous this season. But yeah, let's have a look at what you've been up to, Dad, because a busy transfer window. £28 million on the outs alone. Yeah. Jovan Zivkovic has left, £15 million. Marco Nasty for £9 million, and Jonas Auer for 3. But it's allowed you to bring in £37 million. And some recognisable names too.
And free signing from Real Madrid as well.
Yeah.
So
Danny Ceballos, ex-Arsenal.
Good. Oh, I didn't know that.
I always do.
I reckon you said this for half of the players that I signed, that are ex-Arsenal. I can't sign that many ex-Arsenal players.
What clubs did he play for there?
He went on loan to Arsenal, yeah, all right.
Martin Batterina, £10 million from Bayer Leverkusen.
Really good centre midfielder, this boy, shit.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Both Croatian,
as well. Of course. Yeah. Zagreb is potentially one of the teams that we'll be looking for once we eventually leave Austria.
Yeah.
Mihailo Zvetovic, Serbian striker, always good.
Yeah.
Youngster, 20 years of age.
He's got pacey as well, yeah.
Yeah. He's got 2 in 4 for you already and an assist. So he started the season well as a striker, £1.5 million for him. Speaking of Dynamo Zagreb, £6 million for Lilian Brasier. who's a French centre-back who's left-footed.
Usually quite hard to get, so yep. Good signing, yeah. He's well experienced as well, 27 years of age. So.
Yeah, ex-Rennes. And then Junior Krupi.
Hey.
Everybody loves Junior
Yeah,
Krupi.
of course we do, yeah.
One of my favourite players.
Good attacking midfielder and a striker if I need him to play up front as well.
Yeah, he's got his torn knee ligaments. He's out for 2 months. You got the curse there.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
But I think the biggest signing for you this summer was Nicolas Dominguez from Nottingham Forest. A cracking player for you to pick up.
Brilliant. Defensive midfielder, just what I need to be brought into my team. And he can go forward into that attacking midfield if I wanted him to as well, really. If I wanted to train him in that position. So
yeah.
Right across the spine, as I call it.
Right, well, you are going for a very similar type of formation with the defensive midfielder and centre midfielder this time round. The centre midfielder being pushed. But obviously, you nearly won it last season until you gave away in the championship group.
Chucked it away.
But it's been a great start to you.
Yes, played a lot of games and I ain't got the reds there, so I'm pleased with that.
Yeah, only dropping points here to a 95th minute equaliser there from Hartberg. But we haven't played Salzburg yet.
No.
They are currently top of the league because they've won 6 out of 6. Ooh. This is the difficult point. Yeah. Yes, we are 5 seasons now into this, but Salzburg are still really good. And to win the Bundesliga, the Austrian Bundesliga, you have to do better than them.
Yeah. I mean, it just shows last season you've got to stay there or thereabouts this part of the season, but when you get into the latter part of the season,
you need to be beating them.
That's when you want to beat them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's what they've done to me last season, so hopefully I'll do it to them this season.
Okay, well, season number 5 then. Will the shackles be released for us this year and we can finally leave Austria once one of us lift the title? Or will Red Bull Salzburg keep us here, prisoned in Austria? Which is not a phrase, really, I should be saying. But let's see what happens season number 5. Honours were even between Dad and I in the league matches before the split as we both picked up a victory each. For the first time though, it was my Austria Vienna side who was sitting top of the league going into the final 10 games. That was until Dad's side beat me just 2 games into the championship group 2-1. He also beat me in the Austrian Cup final with a 4-1 win in Vienna. The final league fixture between us though was another win for my Austria Vienna side as this goes down to the wire. It's 2-0 to you now, Dad, and we are finally released from Austria, but I well and truly threw it away.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Because as we went into that final championship group, I was ahead by 2 points, which meant when our points are halved, I would have been ahead by Red Bull Salzburg by 1 point. And unfortunately, it didn't end up that way. Still finishing second place.
Big turn, man.
3 points behind yourself, who is crowned champions.
That's like I said, you just got to stay thereabouts in the last part of that season. That's when you start performing.
Yeah.
And lucky enough I did.
Yeah.
Get in.
Okay, but it doesn't mean we can finally move on, and this challenge now is really going to heat up because we don't have to go to the same league anymore. No. We can go different directions.
This is where the fun starts.
And this is where it starts the race. But now you have a 2-trophy advantage.
Yes.
Going into that Europa League, I still cannot get over that. Because I could settle for going 1-0 down for this because you have been the better team, but it's the fact that you are now 2-0 up and only need 5 trophies and I need to somehow get 7 before. That's the difficult
and that Europa one is an hard one to win.
The hardest one.
Yeah. We always
have picked up the hardest one.
Yeah.
You got the top scorer of the league with 16. He's got the same amount as my centre attacking midfielder. Huskovic is also there as well. So Malindanovic has done very well for me this season.
Good season for him.
Yeah, I might, wherever I go, try and pick him up because he's got the most assists, the most player of the matches, and the same amount of goals as well as the highest average rating. He's had a great time here in Austria. So there we go. But it is time to move, Dad. And the question is, where will we be going?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So, I mean, fair play. You actually won the double as well because you also won the cup and beat me in the final, which is 4-1.
Even
double
better.
whammy.
Yes.
Round of 16
really good
by
season,
Manchester City in the Champions League. Not too bad at all for you there in the league phase of that. You were finishing in the top 8.
Yeah, done
so
well.
For an Austrian side,
very
good. Even beat Rennes.
Yep.
So
some good wins there, to be honest.
Which was Manchester City as well.
Yeah.
They went on to win the whole thing. So not too bad at all. But yeah, mine looks very bleak because it's runners up, and quarter-final of the Europa League by Roma, disappointingly. So, but that's the last thing that I have to do.
Yes.
Yeah, I lost.
Now the fun
Spurs,
starts.
bloody hell. Now the fun starts, as you say, and if we're looking at jobs, immediately there are a few that pop up. There are a few that pop
yes.
up. I mean, Porto, Feyenoord, Chelsea. Straight away you look at that and go, that's 3 you could go for.
Definitely. 100%. I mean, you must just chuck your name in for the app for all 3, really, innit?
Yeah.
And just see what comes up.
Yeah. I mean, let's have a look and a bit of a deep dive, because there's a reason, obviously, we want to join these clubs, but there's a reason why they've just sacked their manager, including Red Bull Salzburg, by the way, just sacked their manager. So this means now, as we stated a while ago, I can no longer win the Austrian Bundesliga. It cannot count for me. That trophy is now off the table, which means my options are limited to other leagues. So I also have to leave Austria too. I can't stay and go, yes, I've won the Austrian Bundesliga. That's not how this challenge works.
Trophy's mine.
Yeah. Porto, who do have the top scorer of the league, finished somewhat 9 points behind Benfica. Vitória doing very well, finishing in second place. So if you were to join Porto,
it's not a bad.
You've got to catch Benfica.
Yeah.
They still got some good players. Timothy Weah's there. Eustaquio is also there. Finances, £24 million budget.
That is good for that league.
Yeah, they've got a minus overall balance and only 60% though.
Yeah, true.
So
Yeah, I mean, I do like the Portugal league, but
Benfica's
my team in Portugal, isn't it?
Yeah,
don't go against them.
Yeah. Then we have. This is why you shouldn't pick favourites. You should just have teams you hate. It's a lot easier, to be honest. Feyenoord in the Eredivisie, they have £68 million at the minute.
Wow, that is good for that league.
With a very good budget as well. In the Netherlands, of course, the Eredivisie, but they have just finished in 4th and are miles behind a really good PSV Eindhoven team.
Yeah.
So if you go in there,
that is a worrying thing, but you've got a massive great budget there, so it's possible.
Yeah. Got a couple of players who are showing up here. Yersin Shekan, who's up there with Felix Correa, who got the highest average rating. They have Alexander Mitrovic.
I do like him
as a striker. He's 33 though.
That's the problem in it, yeah.
But Ajax have Emmanuel Omega and Omar Mamouche is at PSV Eindhoven. So you
can see why you're there.
Yeah, you can see why they've dropped down to 4th place, and they are struggling. And unfortunately, they're in Europa League as well, which is another trophy that is completely off the table as well, thanks to Dad's victory there. But would you go for Chelsea is another question. Now, Chelsea still have, by the looks of it, a very good team. However, they're in the Premier League, and as we know, hardest division possibly for the amount of clubs that you're going to come up against. And they finished down in 6th. Not too far behind, though. 15 points. Liverpool was champions. Manchester City were second, who obviously just won the Champions League, as we established. Still have Erling Haaland, who's only got 16 goals, by the way, which isn't a lot. Even Rasmus Højlund's got more goals. But Liverpool are champions at the minute.
I've just spotted something as well.
What's that?
Clean sheets, second keeper down.
Yeah, Diogo Costa,
my favourite keeper
at Chelsea.
I mean, if I go to the Chelsea, I haven't got to buy a keeper.
That's true. That's a detriment to why you'd want to go there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of your favourite hobbies.
What is their budget?
So if you're going to Chelsea, the finances are looking quite lucrative as well. £250 million in the bank.
I know you need
$80 million budget.
You need a lot of money in the Premier League, but they got a big squad as well. Chelsea always got a big squad on this, so you can make that easy.
Yeah,
another 100 on top of that.
Oh yeah, even like the likes of Nkunku and Raheem Sterling still there.
Well, Sterling is definitely. I'd sell him if I went there.
Yeah, they got some great players. I mean, Mateus Sule's there, over £100 million now.
Dear.
So a lot of options, but where are we likely to go? Even the likes of Standard Liège is a shout in Belgium, one of the biggest Belgian sides.
We're not looking at that at all, are we? Because of the name of the teams that you've but that's still a good show.
But that's going to be an interesting one this summer. First, of course, we've got to say our goodbyes in Austria to the two sides in Vienna. So let's get that done first. Yes, with Dad winning the Austrian Bundesliga, he goes 2 trophies ahead. But at least that means we can now both leave Austria and go hunting for our next job in hopes to win more trophies. And of course, I need to be smart. With the current 3 vacancies of Feyenoord, Porto and Chelsea all being available, there's 2 that I'm going to go for. First off, finances are looking strong for Feyenoord, and after a bad 4th place finish, I fancy my chances at utilising that to turn things around rather quickly. There's also enough about Porto that I'm seeing that I think it's probably a good idea to apply for there as well. Dad, on the other hand, was setting his sights higher with the risky move to Chelsea, given his 2 trophy advantage. Feyenoord, though, was very fast to get back to me for an interview first. and they wanted to know what the reasons were that I've never won a trophy in my managerial career. Dad was locked in though because Chelsea came back with an interview, and they were even swifter on bringing Dad in as their new manager for season number 6, taking him from Vienna to London. However, it wasn't long later that Feyenoord got back to me and offered me the job as well. So I packed my bags and I headed to Rotterdam, where I was surprised to find the 37-year-old Kevin De Bruyne in my side. Meanwhile, Dad was signing players for massive amounts of money, which I thought I would have too. However, upon arriving at Feyenoord, the £60 million I thought I had in my budget was a lie, and in fact I had a minus £11 million. Well, at least you got to spend money.
Yeah. And like I said, I sold a lot as well.
Yeah.
So 100 million there it is.
I think I was led up the false sense of security. They showed us the budget there when we applied for the job, and then when I got to Feyenoord, there was none. Ridiculous. But somehow, Dad, you have sold 123 million, allowing you to spend 266 million.
Yeah, I felt there was a few players that I probably wouldn't definitely use, and I'd get good money for, so I just got rid of them really. So I bought in. I mean, this guy, we always know this guy will score goals for you. Whatever team you're in, if you can afford him, get him. He'll score goals for you.
Says the guy who hasn't actually scored.
No,
a goal
he hasn't
yet.
scored yet. So, I mean, I've just sort of like done Frankfurt over badly, and I really.
Oh, you give them a lot of money.
They're a very rich club, but they definitely need strikers now, don't they? Because this
El
guy
Yawahi as well.
This guy is formidable, and I'm pleased to get this guy in.
116 million
A lot of money.
pounds.
I'm learning from you. I've got the money. I'm just going to go big for certain players, and I needed 2 good strikers. I felt I needed sort of strengthening, so I've got it.
And then 2 fullbacks.
Yes.
Kevison on the left.
Yep. I mean, he might not
From
start.
Salzburg, obviously.
I'm hoping he'll start, right at the beginning, because I'm going to bring this guy on and make him a little bit better, I think.
Yeah, and then Michael Coyote at right back.
Yeah, we know how good this guy can be. So I think it's Reece James is usually right back there. Very, very injury prone, and that was right in my mind. I mean, Reece James is a very good player, and he'd probably keep this guy out of the team, but he gets injured so many times, so this guy could be just stood there waiting to get into the team.
Well, you've gone for your 3 up front with 1 in behind.
Yes.
You've got João Felix in there, and Kunku, Wahi, and Viper up front.
Very, very attacking side, which I always like to play in the Premier League. I always find if you play very attacking, you're going to be in with a shout. So that's what I'm going for, really.
Even your bench has got Enzo Fernandez, Soule,
I just couldn't get him
Oyhan
inside.
Sanchez.
I wanted to get, Fernandez into the side. I just couldn't get him in there.
It sucks to be you, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's so hard,
Cole Palmer on the bench, look.
He didn't even sort of come into my bench, in my first team at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Crazy.
What players do I have on the bench ready, just waiting to come in and I might get any injuries, really.
And you started the season with a few bad results, though.
Yeah.
But again, we highlight how difficult the Premier League
will
is.
be, yeah.
Arsenal, City, Newcastle, and then a double bout of Liverpool.
Yeah, they knocked me out of the cup early on, so. But I'm not too worried
All
about the
things
cup game.
considered, though, you've beaten the Champions League winners 3-0.
Yeah. I mean, when I got that result, I was quite pleased. I mean, I lost to Arsenal, and oh god, then you come against City, think, another hard game, and you beat them, you think, right, I'm right back into this again. Got a good result against Newcastle, and then just Liverpool.
2
double over
trips
me.
to Anfield in 3 days.
Just done the double over me, so that's the way it goes, isn't it?
95th minute winner there.
Yeah, well, I scored a late goal as
86th
well.
minute there.
Yeah, they like to go on their late goals against me, don't they? So it's always a big game, that, isn't it? So, yeah.
But the funniest thing is, although we've gone to different countries,
We've got to play each other.
we got to play each other in the first game of the Europa League. How hilarious. A game that, to our
Means
challenge,
nothing.
means nothing, but it means everything
Yes.
everywhere else. So that is quite funny. But let's have a look then at my Feyenoord side, because again, they offered me a lot of money. Well, they didn't offer me. We seen that there was a lot of money, and then when we joined, where's that gone? Where did that go? Because there wasn't any when I got there. So Sergi Reguilon was the last signing that they made there, as you can see, on the 1st of December 2028. I didn't make that signing. So we just got to put up with what we got. So we're going for this.
You ain't got a bad side, though, when you look at it.
Got a great team.
Kevin De Bruyne is in there.
Yeah, Kevin De
Come
Bruyne.
on.
Yeah, might be 37. Might be his last year. Who
He
knows?
still looks good, doesn't he?
Still a cracking talent, especially in this league.
Yeah.
So who knows? Then we've got Fabian Ryder, who's also a great player as well. Correa, who we highlighted already on that left-hand side. Balogun up front with Mitrovic, so he scores goals. He likes to beat the offside trap. Go with this weird 3 at the back, but kind of utilising Chacon on the right, so we've got enough to bang 5 in the midfield. That's kind of my thinking there. Jacob Modder is a good defensive midfielder, so he can cover that right back or right-sided situation with Beidou and Van Wiesel, who is a Dutch regen that's come through left-footed through the Feyenoord Youth Academy and looks quite good, to be fair. So if he gets some game time, might be all right. So we're kicking things off then in the Netherlands with some good results and one really bad one. Losing to NEC there, unfortunately, but we've got a 7-0 win against Almere, 1-0 against Twente, 4-3 against Utrecht, and a 5-3 against Camber before we've got to play one of the big ones. And look who else I've got to play. My old side, Austria Vienna. So Europa League is quite a funny one for me this season because I've got to play Dad and then Austria Vienna in the next couple of fixtures.
Next 4 games, you've got 3 hard games really, haven't you?
Yeah, really difficult. So we'll see then. Will we be picking up our first trophy in the Race to 7 challenge, or will Dad be taking a 3-0 head start? Or will either of us get any trophies this season? Let's find out. Yes, I really need to make sure I can complete the Netherlands fast, because I seriously can't afford Dad to take a 3-0 advantage should he win the Premier League with Chelsea. And Dad's team is incredibly scary as well when firing on all cylinders, as I found out myself in the Europa League when they battered my Feyenoord side 4-0. I couldn't even beat my old Austria Vienna side as I relied on 2 penalties to salvage a point. Unfortunately for me, Ajax was also really good this season, and just past the halfway point they've yet to lose a single game. Luckily, Dad was finding the Premier League much more harder than anticipated currently and in 6th place going into the new year. But while I was accepting my fate not winning the title this season and enjoying what was looking like Kevin De Bruyne's final year as a player, Dad was making up for his 5th place finish in the Premier League with a different trophy as he reached the Europa League final once again and absolutely battered Lazio 3-0 to lift the trophy. But of course, you can't win the same competition twice. Well, Dad, it's no added trophies, but you've won the Europa League again. Well done.
I don't know how you keep saying it's an hard trophy to win. I find it quite easy.
Oh, yeah. Especially when you got to come up against the teams that you did.
With Lazio?
Yeah, you absolutely stuffed it in the league phase as well. Draw into Vitoria, winning 7, beating me 4-0. But as we said, irrelevant. Doesn't matter.
No.
My old side, Austria Vienna's done very well as well. They also finished unbeaten because I drew against them 2-2. And where was I? All the way down in 23rd place. So, but again, completely irrelevant. What mattered was league titles, and neither of us managed to win one. In fact, you finished down in 5th place, Dad, this season.
Not a good season, really. Lost 9
points,
games. I'm surprised with that.
16 points behind. 17 points behind Manchester United, who won the league.
That was a long way behind them, so I'm a bit disappointed with that.
Vitor Roque's
got a lot of work to do here, haven't I?
Yeah, Amad Diallo.
Yeah,
good God. 26 now, in his prime.
They're going to be an R team to sort of prize off that trophy, don't think.
That's it. So, do you think you've got what it takes to challenge them?
Well, to be honest, I felt that I had a really good side. I mean, they must have done. I just won another European trophy. So I've got to go for it now. What's my budget for next season? I mean, you
got 24 goals there from El Yawahi, 14 assists.
2 strikers I got in there.
Yeah.
So I got 46 goals off those 2. So I've got to be happy with that.
But transfer budget for next season, £60 million with an okay wage. So it was enough to sort of like get in one world-class player, and obviously you'd sell players.
I can sell a few players. I reckon I can probably get in about another 2 world-class players.
Yeah.
And that does change that squad. I mean, the United squad looked immense, but I can get close to that, I think.
All right. Well, in the Netherlands, it might have been even worse than me, though, because I got knocked out in the 2nd round of the Dutch Cup, which is not a good sign already. I might be scraping on for my job here, because a 3rd place finish, although Mitrovic did win the Golden Boot, but again, I am miles behind Ajax, 16 points behind.
That's a long way in it in that league.
Considering I was only in 3rd place as well. They only lost 3 games. One of them was against me, but I lost 7, losing too many games. And unfortunately, it just feels like, ooh, that's tricky. That is going to be a tricky one. What makes it worse is that my best player, my leader, if you will, Kevin De Bruyne, has decided to call it a day.
Yeah.
And he is going to retire at the end of this season. So we're going to be losing arguably one of the best midfielders of his generation.
And your strikers.
We've got to try and replace him. Mitrovic is 34 as well.
35, yeah.
He's wanted. Maybe I cash in. Oh no, he's only worth 1.8 million. So a lot of things to think about going into this 6th season, and well, 7th season even. I've got a minus £12 million transfer budget as well. So if I am to stick around, I've got to sell £12 million worth of players before I even consider
how much percentage of the selling
bringing anyone in.
Fees do you get?
Still get 100 because they got £13 million in the bank.
There's a few players that sell. They get 12 million in your league, don't it?
That's the trouble. There's not a lot of value in the squad. If you're looking at value in the squad, I have to sell one of my best players here, which I don't really want to do because a lot of these players are the reason why we managed to finish as high as what we did.
Yeah, because you look at anybody that hasn't played a lot of games, that you got to sell 2 of them.
Yeah, that's the trouble. Okay, well, something to think about, but there's also a consideration of options because we could decide to move with the likes of Dinamo Zagreb and Genk appearing.
Yeah,
2 teams who have finished in second place.
I mean, that's something to think about, isn't it? They finished second.
Yeah,
they're there or thereabouts.
Especially for me, knowing I need to get 2 trophies back on you already.
Yeah.
While you're there going, oh, I'm at Chelsea. I'm going, well, I could go to Zagreb.
I'm just looking at Zagreb, and they only lost by a point.
Yeah.
And go on their last feir games. Their record at the end of the season.
Really bad. 2 Osijek, who won the league.
So that's where they would.
They threw it away,
They were
really.
top of the league until then.
Yeah, they threw it away. Genk also finished in second place. Another league where obviously it splits into a group and a championship group. Anderlecht won the league by 2 points.
Yeah. I think their record at the end wasn't too good neither.
Yeah, so
it's 2 good teams.
It's 2 good options. Yeah, they lost to Anderlecht on the final day of the season, which decided the title in the 87th minute. 2 good teams, £25 million, but we know not to trust this as much anymore after my trip to Feyenoord. So there's £25 million potentially there, and Zagreb £10 million.
Yeah.
So Croatia and Belgium are options.
2 good options, though, really. Cause,
yeah.
I mean, even for me, really, because I'm thinking, really, the Premier League, it's an hard league to win, isn't it, really? And I haven't got the best team in that league. Or I've got a lot of money and I've got a really good team as a squad.
Go on, leave Chelsea. I'll join them.
I could jump into one of them team, and you never know. You could just win the league and bang,
another one.
Another trophy in
one
bag,
season,
yeah,
1 trophy.
One
bang.
season wonder gone in.
Yeah,
and out.
yeah.
That's what's fun about this sort of competition, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the tactics, really, isn't it?
It's
where you go tactically.
And usually, I mean, it's close to a glory hunter in it, and I got a lot of bad decisions in glory hunter tonight. I've hung around.
Your decision making's terrible.
Yeah, I've hung around sometimes too long. So when we started this challenge, I had it in my mind. I thought I'm going to say I'm not going to hang around very often.
No.
Have I been too long at Chelsea already? I don't know.
1 season in, he's calling it quits.
Yeah, but you've got to see something like that. There's 2 good teams that come second.
Title challenging teams.
And when you look at it, they should have won.
They were just unlucky.
Yeah. So you could just jump in there. They got good budgets.
Whereas both in our divisions, we were nowhere near.
No.
So it's either you go, you 17. Yeah, you were 17 points. So you either go to one of these places where, they were. I don't know how they managed to get their manager sacked because they were just really unlucky.
Yeah.
Or you stay where you are nowhere near. So
I don't know, mate.
Tricky one. But that's why you've got to come back, because the race to the 7 is now really heating up. And it's going to get very interesting. What would you do? Would you be applying for Genk or Dinamo Zagreb? Or would you be staying put at Feyenoord and Chelsea? Yes, let us know down in the comments, because the race to 7 is getting very interesting now.